everyone, Alexa here from the blog theduvallhomestead.com. Today I'm taking the camera around all week as I cook for my family of 4. I hope you get some inspiration for some summer recipes in this video. Today I'm gonna make a quick dinner recipe. It is the beginning of the week. We are just tired from a really fun weekend and I'm a little bit behind in the kitchen. So join me as I prepare meals for the week up ahead and dinner tonight. Tonight we're gonna be making homemade meatballs. This is a recipe I tend to only do in the summertime, although it's great year-round. If you have any ground meat, ground beef, we're gonna use, bison tonight. Just add the ground beef with the seasonings, some Parmesan cheese, breadcrumbs, and egg. Now I don't have any breadcrumbs tonight, so I'm gonna substitute for freshly milled flour, which works just fine. You can also use regular flour. Past few weeks, I have tried to develop a repertoire of recipes that I think will be really helpful for my family to have on hand during the summertime. I put them all together in an ebook called Summer from Scratch. So if you are looking for breakfast or lunch, dinner or dessert or sourdough bread recipes that are especially fun to make in the summertime, be sure to check out the link below and grab your copy of Summer from Scratch. Now when you're putting these into the pan, keep in mind that the fat from whatever meat you're going to be using is going to seep out of here and it will look a little bit messy. So you do want to use a baking tray that has a border around it to catch any of the spills from the meat, depending on how fatty it is. We're using bison, so I actually don't expect this to do that all that much, but if you're using ground beef, depends on how much fat there is in there. But it could get quite messy. Let's see if I can fit all of these on one pan. Earlier today I prepared a couple of bread recipes. One is my sourdough sandwich loaf with half freshly milled hard white wheat berries. I also use a little bit of einkorn and still trying to use up my regular white all-purpose flour, so I threw a little bit of that in there as well. The second recipe is actually a 100% white all-purpose flour bread recipe. This was my very first bread recipe that I ever put on the blog, and it is so old. The pictures are so bad, and yet it's still a really valuable recipe because even if you are brand new to bread making, this is the recipe for you. It just uses your store-bought traditional white flour. It's the simplest version of sourdough for those getting started. So I'm gonna go ahead and make this simple loaf of bread because I need to re-photograph it for my blog because the photos are so old. I have since upgraded to using einkorn flour, freshly milled flour, but there is absolutely no shame in starting from scratch and just making your bread from your regular store-bought flour. This is our Costco flour. It's high protein at least, so it's an organic high protein flour, and it does work really well for bread making. While I have those fermenting over here underneath my windowsill where it's pretty warm, I'm gonna get the meatballs started. I'm gonna try to make a sauce with these meatballs if I have enough time. You can also use a generic tomato pasta sauce, but I would like to make one from scratch on the stove. Forgot to add that I can also freeze these meatballs, so if you are trying to meal prep for a lot of time ahead, for example, I'm going to be giving birth in a few months and I'm already thinking about what do I want to have stocked in my freezer. Probably meatballs would be a great idea, so I might make another batch of these for the freezer, but tonight we're just doing enough for our family. For the sauce, I'm just going to whip up what is kind of like a gravy. I'm going to use a lot of butter, some einkorn flour, bone broth, so it's got those nice nutrients from our chicken bone broth. Lots of salt, pepper, herbs, maybe a little cream. I don't know, we'll kind of see how it goes. summertime, we like to spend as much time as possible outdoors. That is why I'm so excited to share with you today's video sponsor, Costway. Costway is a maker of multiple choices of furniture, appliances, kitchens, sports, and outdoor furniture. They serve over 10 million customers every month to improve the customer experience and create better products and comfortable lifestyles. Costway's furniture is known as versatile because it can fulfill every aspect of our lives. They believe in the power of home decor and filling your spaces that are space refreshing and life delighting. As a mom of 2 young kids, I know that it is so much easier when the kids are outside playing. Keeping the kids inside makes a bigger mess, and there's something about being outside in the fresh air and the sunshine that is just good for everybody. We recently received this outdoor kids mud kitchen and an outdoor kids barbecue set that is the perfect piece to complement a homestead backyard for young kids in the summertime. Whether you are barbecuing on your grill or cooking inside your own kitchen, it's really nice to know that the kids are doing the same thing but to their own size and outside. I love that this outdoor play kitchen has a water faucet. My kids have loved turning it on and off, lots of places to put cups in and out, cabinets that they can open, and it is meant for outdoor use. It is made with selected fir wood material and the corners are rounded. Costway has also sponsored a previous video where I showed the cabinet that's behind me, and it has also withstood the test of time and become a good staple in our home. I love that everything from Costway is free shipping, a 365-day warranty, and a 30-day hassle-free return if you don't happen to like the item. Costway is running a Memorial Day savings event right now where you can save up to 60% on select items. Both of these play sets are also on sale. Just looking on the website here, the barbecue is 60% off currently, and the outdoor mud kitchen is 53% off. So now is a great time to purchase both of these items. If you are like us and like to spend a lot of time outdoors in the summertime and looking for furniture to accommodate that, check out Costway at my link below and use my code for a special discount at checkout. Thank you to Costway for sponsoring this video. Okay, this morning I am making sourdough buttermilk biscuits. This is a relatively quick and easy breakfast recipe you can whip up with your sourdough starter and your freshly milled flour if you have it. You can also use regular flour. I showed these on my channel a couple weeks ago when I did breakfast recipes and I loved them. However, I felt like they were missing the sourdough taste. When you make these with sourdough, I feel like they have more of that sour taste that I was really looking for, so I wanted to redo them. So I made this dough last night with my sourdough starter, freshly milled flour, buttermilk, butter, some honey and sugar. Let it sit on the counter overnight, and now I'm going to roll it out. What I love about this dough is how much butter is in it. Whenever you make a dough with butter in it, it's always really nice and moist and really fun to roll out. This morning I'm adding a teaspoon of baking soda. This should help give them that extra rise in the oven. I can't wait for the strawberries to be in season. That's going to be the first thing that is in season in our area. And I'm going to be making so much strawberry jam, which would be perfect on these biscuits. I'm just going to roll them out to about 1 inch thick. I do like the biscuits pretty thick so you can get that layered look to them. Whip up an egg wash for the top. I think this will result in a nice golden crust. This is not necessary, but I want these to taste a little bit extra today, so I'm going to add a little sugar sprinkle on top. Since I am cooking breakfast here, I'm going to go ahead and whip up some scrambled eggs. So yummy. I love how the golden brown turned out on top from the egg wash. After I got the kitchen cleaned up from breakfast, I went ahead and started baking my 2 loaves of bread. So I'm going to show you, this is really fun to show the difference between a freshly milled loaf versus a 100% white wheat loaf. See, the white wheat loaf grew really big. It's very white on the inside. The freshly milled loaf, which is still only 50%, but it's quite a bit darker, still had a great rise though. And that's why I like to do 50% because it does make it very similar to the store-bought type of bread. I really do not cook with 100% all-purpose white flour anymore, so this was definitely shocking to me. It's crazy that there is such a difference, but honestly, my body craves the whole wheat, freshly milled flour these days, and when I don't have it, when I ate this toast later in the week, I noticed a difference. So I am definitely a fan of freshly milled. Tonight I'm whipping up a chicken tortilla soup, one of our summer favorites because it's a soup recipe that I can use bone broth, but it tastes like a taco in a soup is what I always say. So you can use leftover chicken. In my case, I have a bag of frozen chicken legs here, and I've been meaning to cook it for so long. I'm just gonna throw it in with the soup, and then when it's done, I'll shred the meat off. This uses peas and corn, and just like a taco, this is all about the toppings. So you can do sour cream, cheese on top, avocado, tortilla chips, whatever you like. I never regret making this soup. It's a crowd pleaser every time. I bought this cilantro at the store specifically for this recipe this week because I knew that I'd want it freshly topped with cilantro. Down to do something that I never do sitting down, but that is make a salad. We have a 20-month-old toddler boy who has a hard time sitting still or playing in our house because we don't have really a playroom or jungle gym. So he has a lot of energy. He does better outside, which I have a theory that most kids do better outside. So after dinner, my husband usually takes the kids. While I clean up the dinner, he takes them outside. So I am here making a salad, and I thought I would just bring it over to the table and show you on camera because I got a question about what kind of salads or sides do we usually serve with our meals. And we do usually have a salad every night with dinner. It just usually happens after dinner, which I know that sounds kind of silly. Some people prefer to have their salads before their dinner, but because it's a little bit extra prep, I find myself so often, let me know if you can relate as a mother, but with the 2 little kids, they need food right away. So I am just lucky to get them their protein, their vegetable, their carb, whatever it is in the meal as soon as possible to them. I don't have time to make my husband and I a salad because they're not eating the salads quite yet anyway. So we actually have salad and a little dessert after the kids go to bed. So that is a schedule that works for us. So here I am making my salad, and I'm just gonna show you what we do. I actually really like these butter leaves. They come in a box at my local grocery store. They're so buttery and tasty. So I start with a small layer of butter leaves. Then I move on to the hearty kale. Kale is so rich in antioxidants, vitamins, fiber, everything. I think it's so important to get your servings of fruit, servings of vegetables every day. And then I'm just gonna cut up some strawberries. Now some of these strawberries are gonna go to the kids. They're not all for my husband and I because we have a lot right now. Then late at night, my husband will often top his with a bunch of pistachio nuts. Sometimes I'll do the same thing. He will sometimes do avocado or Parmesan cheese if he's really feeling fancy. But this is the basic salad. The dressing is about 3/4 of the way full of olive oil, and then I do about 1/4 inch of apple cider vinegar, and then a few squirts of Dijon mustard, salt, and pepper. And this is ready to serve. It has been a slower week, which has been much appreciated because we had a really busy burst of hot weather, early summer excitement happening, and then we got some rain, which I have actually really appreciated. Today I'm making homemade hamburger buns with homemade burger patties. The sun is back now, and with that I am much more excited to be in the kitchen and making things from scratch. It's funny how the sun can do that. Just found some leftover bacon in the freezer, just a tiny bit that I saved here, and I'm gonna throw this in there too. Come on. I do have some very old bits of cilantro here that I will just throw in, and then this is gonna be all used up. One of my favorite parts about summertime is using the ingredients that are available. Quite frankly, it doesn't matter what they are. It doesn't matter if it's parsley or cilantro or sage or rosemary. It's gonna be good in whatever you're making. I did something that I really like when I do that day, which is I prepped some of the dinner earlier in the day so that less work would be on me for the evening time, because once my kids are kind of up out of their nap or their rest time, I like to do something fun with them, especially to go outside. But today we are actually making popsicles because we've been out of popsicles for a while now. One of my favorite things to keep on hand in the summertime is popsicles. I love being able to give them to the kids and just watch them enjoy the popsicles outside on a sunny day.
Apples makes it like
It's time to roll out the hamburger buns now. I am making 6 buns. These will rise over the next couple of hours. I'm gonna leave them in a really warm spot on the stove. And the ones that we don't eat, I'll just slice in half and then freeze, pull them out for next week when we have hamburgers. I hope these recipes gave you some inspiration to cook from scratch this summer, and I hope that you stop by the link below to grab your copy of Summer from Scratch if you are looking for some easy from scratch recipes for the summertime. Don't forget to check out Costway at my link below and use the discount code to shop their beautiful and versatile selection of furniture and outdoor kids' kitchens.